Campaign 2016 segment tonight. As we said in the talking points memo, Donald Trump may well secure the Republican nomination, even though he's not really a standard Republican. That demonstrates just how much some GOP voters think about their own party. Let's now here in New York City, Eboni Williams and Monica Crowley. So, why do some registered Republicans seem to despise the party they are registered to?
Well, I'm a registered Republican, and I despise my own party
Do
because,
you really?
first and foremost, I am a conservative. And as a conservative, the Republican Party has let me down time and again. It's not just conservatives who feel betrayed.
Give me an example
it's
of
other
how it's let
Republicans
you
as
down.
well. I'll give you specifics, okay? People who vote Republican have certain non-negotiable things that they want their candidates and their party to stand for and fight for. Limited government, fiscal responsibility, lower taxes, strong national defense, individual freedom. And it shows itself in different policies. We want our candidates and our leaders to fight to protect the Constitution and to fight with the same passion, commitment, and vigor that the left always uses to smash those things. And the Republican Party, particularly the Republican establishment, there are some exceptions, like Senator Ted Cruz has been fighting the good fight. But on issues like Obamacare, Obama's gutting of the military, his war on coal, regulations, out-of-control government spending, running up the debt, time and again, and it's not just during the Obama years, but for decades now, the Republican Party has caved time and again to the point where they're considered Democrat light.
All right. You're a registered independent. Do you see the Republican Party being as wimpy as Miss Monica?
I don't see it that way, but I see that perception. Now, it's interesting perception because many on the left would say that they've been the party of obstruction. That's their argument. But I see Monica's point, certainly when you look at not being able to limit Planned Parenthood spending, or many on the right feeling like, you know, how is this Iran deal going through? So they feel like it's a go-along to get-along type of issue over there. That's the perception.
The rules in Congress are so arcane. Yeah. President Reagan once said, if I can get 70% of what I want, I'm happy. All right? But conservatives like you want 100% of what you want.
No,
but
that's not what
the
I'm
ruals
saying.
are so
I'm saying
arcane.
Fight.
But wait, just let me give you an example.
When you have a Democrat president, you can't always get what
but when
you
you
want,
say fight, I don't know what, is that a PR thing? Look, we try to get case law passed, okay? And I think the majority of Americans believe that if you're an aggravated, convicted foreign felon, all right, that should be a $5 if they just grab you for anything. You're in federal prison. Harry Reid, who's an evil man in my opinion, blocked it on the Senate floor. Republicans in the Senate would have voted for it, but they couldn't stop Reid from blocking it.
Right, and I was the first one on this program to predict, Bill, when you put out case
what
law
would Republicans
that they were going to stop
do
it for ideological reasons.
Okay, and he did. But what could Republicans do to stop that?
There are certain things legislatively, even if you're just putting up a moral fight, do that. And what the Republican
So you want a more visible PR?
Yes. For example, like to Ebony's point, defund Planned Parenthood. How hard is that? The Republicans control Congress now.
Well,
they can do that.
Obama would veto that, though. He would veto that spending.
No, they control the purse strings. They can strip out the
Obama
spending.
can veto any spending bills he wants.
Look, they can do it on an itemized basis. They could have stripped out the implementation funding for the Iran deal. They didn't do that either.
I think what you're saying, though, is that the perception among many Republicans, Ebony, all right, is that the Republican Party doesn't have the flamethrowers, the bomb throwers, to get this out in front of the public and whip the public emotion up.
The political will
and I will say this, certainly Mitch McConnell, the Senate Majority Leader, did not get behind Kate's law.
No,
he wouldn't.
Not.
He wouldn't even talk to me on the telephone.
Yeah, I remember that. He also was someone that people like Ted Cruz really faulted for not being effective in the defunding of Planned Parenthood. They felt he got in the way.
So it's the leadership of the party that doesn't go out and try to sell why these things are necessary to convince public opinion to get with them.
Most of this, though, is perception, because to your point, Bill, you know, governing is one thing. Making a demonstration of adversariness is another thing. How effective is it when you've got a Democratic president? Who knows? But I think the spirit of at least putting up a fight and making our cornerstone legislation visible, I think they're upset about it. And that's hence the rise of Trump.
Because the Republican Party really isn't against what you're advocating. Most Republicans in Congress and in Senate would vote for that. But they're not verbal enough.
No, this is what they run on. This is what they tell voters that they're going to do, and then they go to Washington and they cave. There never would have been a Tea Party. There never would have been a need for a Tea Party if the Republican Party had stuck to its core principles.
And that's why we see, I think, the rise in Trump, because people feel like for better or worse, whatever you think about
him,
he's going to blow it up.
At least he states what he wants.
He's not going to go along to get along.
And some people like what he's stating. That's what it is.